Thanksgiving has come and gone, so that means Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. I don't know what happens on Sunday, but then it is Cyber Monday. And instead of buying Christmas gifts, will you be stocking up for things that you need for your home, things that you need just in case you're looking to do home improvements? Are you going to be buying electronics because you know that they're going to go up because of these tariffs? Now is probably the best time to be thinking about all of that, considering if Trump does fulfill his campaign promise to put tariffs on everything, everything is about to get more expensive. So, how are you spending your money for the holiday season? Are you buying some necessities or are you buying the typical Christmas gifts? Let me know in the comments. Regardless, let's get into this article. It says the big ticket items to consider buying before Trump's tariffs kick in. It says if your refrigerator is on the fritz or your iPhone is starting to do the thing where it doesn't hold a charge, this holiday season might be the time to trade up before the sweeping tariffs proposed by President elect Donald Trump could go into effect next year. On the campaign trail, Trump promised to implement a 60% blanket tariff on Chinese goods and a 10 to 20% tariff on imports from all other trading partners. He also warned that he'd be willing to put a 25% tariff on Mexican goods if the country doesn't cooperate with his immigration plans. The president elect has claimed that the massive trade escalations wouldn't impact consumer prices and would tax other countries while boosting American manufacturing. Most economists, including Republicans, disagree and say that tariffs tend to get passed on in the form of higher prices for consumers. Shoppers eyeing big ticket items this Black Friday should consider moving quickly, especially with potential tariffs looming that could potentially raise prices, Chip Lupo, a writer and analyst at Wallet Hub, told Newsweek. Electronics, appliances, cars, and furniture are particularly vulnerable to price increases because of their reliance on imported parts and materials. And I saw somewhere that car insurance might go up as well because of the parts and everything that goes into fixing cars if there are claims. So our car insurance is probably also going to go up. Yay for Trump tariffs. This past year, the United States imported $4 trillion in goods and services, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Of that total, $433 billion came from China. If Trump's proposed tariffs go into effect, the National Retail Federation estimates that American consumers could lose between $46 billion and $78 billion in spending per year. A tariff is a tax paid by the U.S. importer, not a foreign country or the exporter. This tax ultimately comes out of consumers' pockets through higher prices. Jonathan Gold, NRF's Vice President of Supply Chain and Customs Policy, said in a press release earlier this month. Raymond Robertson, the director of Texas A&M University Mossbacher Institute for Trade, Economics, and Public Policy, told Newsweek that people don't get that tariffs and taxes are essentially the same thing. Tariffs are taxes. Taxes make prices go up. I'm just so stunned that people don't put two and two together. Despite consumer confusion and mixed signals from the market, NRF still expects steady sales growth for the holiday season. The world's largest retail trade association expects a record 183.4 million people to shop in-store and online from Thanksgiving Day through Cyber Monday. The NRF also forecasts retail sales in November and December to grow between 2.5% and 3.5% from last year, amounting to an increase of $979.5 billion to $989 billion. For budget-conscious consumers, the advice is clear. Prioritize purchasing now if you're in the market for items like stoves, smartphones, or cars, Lupo said. With Black Friday deals in play, locking in lower prices now before new tariffs take effect is a smart move. Waiting might result in sticker shock once tariffs are implemented and retailers are forced to adjust their pricing to accommodate higher import costs. Here are the big ticket items to pay attention to as the holidays roll around. Electronics, iPhones, laptops, tablets, cameras, headphones, video games. Smartphones account for about a tenth of the goods imported this past year. Data from the US Census shows over 80% of those devices are manufactured in China. If Trump were to move forward with his 60% tariff on Chinese imports, prices of iPhones will likely rise. Economists are projecting that a $1,000 iPhone could cost Americans $300 more under such a tariff. That is already expensive to get an iPhone. So adding an additional $300, yay for Trump tariffs. And it's not just phones. Lupo estimates that electronics such as laptops, tablets, and gaming consoles could see price hikes anywhere between 25 and 45%. A lot of people, like students, are really interested in getting their laptops now rather than waiting. If you're going to start college, or you're going to be starting a new program, or you're just getting a new computer, people should start making moves on those now. A 2017 report of the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis also found that roughly 90% of video and audio electronic equipment, 88% of electronic computers, and 78% of small electric appliances are imported. Electronics are the ones that are probably going to be hit hard, both from Chinese tariffs and elsewhere, because we import a lot of electronics from Mexico and other places as well, Robertson said. As of last year, Mexico has emerged as America's largest trading partner, eclipsing both Canada and China. In 2023, the US and Mexico exchanged nearly $798 billion in goods and services. The US market and the Mexican market are actually not separate markets, Robertson said. There's a single labor market, there is a single studies market, single energy market. They're not separate markets. So these tariffs on Mexico are a lot like getting tariffs on California. It's not good for our consumers. Household appliances are also likely to get hit with any new tariffs. Lupo forecasts prices for items like refrigerators and washing machines to increase by nearly 20% if Trump tariffs go into effect. NRF predicts that American consumers will pay 6.4 billion to 10.9 billion more for these appliances. Now, just imagine you're building housing complexes, you're building apartment complexes, you're renovating. This is going to hit all of us. Gotta love this. Having just renovated my kitchen and bath, I feel the pain. Mary Lovely, a senior fellow at the Peterson Institute for International Economics, told Newsweek. Many parts and pieces needed for such renovations originate in China or contain parts made in China, she said. Many kitchens are designed around cabinets that originate in China. Appliances either come from China or have Chinese parts. If the manufacturer is in the US, the factory will have to pay more for those Chinese parts. So many other products will be affected as well: wood, paints, tools, screws. Under the proposed tariffs, the NRF expects Americans to pay $13.9 billion to $24 billion more for apparel, $8.8 billion to $14.2 billion more for toys, $8.5 billion to $13.1 billion more for furniture. Do you do you have to buy toys? Do you have to buy clothes? Do you need furniture? We're all about to pay. Thank you, Trump tariffs. The cost of these items aren't just tied to the tariffs themselves, but also to the ripple effects throughout the supply chain, which could further drive inflation, Lupo said. Companies facing higher import taxes may pass those costs on to consumers, leaving shoppers with little choice but to pay more. The range of products and levels of new trade taxes or tariffs make the new Republican Party the most pro-tax party in recent history. All of the kinds of things you see at larger department stores like Target or Walmart are likely to get hit hard by tariffs. There are already signs of stress among retailers heading into what is typically their strongest season. Target's stock tumbled 22% on Wednesday. It's the biggest slide in 2.5 years, after telling investors it was dealing with increased cost pressures and continued supply chain issues. Big box retailers should have seen an uptick in spending between back to school and the Halloween season. Consumers tell us their budgets remain stretched and they are shopping carefully, Target CEO Brian Cornell told investors on a conference call. He said the company was navigating through a volatile operating environment, and that's before any tariffs have been implemented. Okay, so now for the people that decided to Google what tariffs were after the fact, I hope that they are, no, you know what? I hope that they are not getting prepared for the holiday season. I hope that they are simply thinking that tariffs will be paid by China because they don't deserve to be able to protect themselves or whatever. I hope that they don't listen to this video at all. But for the people that actually know what tariffs are, I hope that you're, taking the steps that you need to do the best you can come with the upcoming season, buying what you need right now. I know I'm planning on stocking up on coffee, doing what I can to stock up on toilet paper and paper towels, things like that I know that we'll need. A lot of this stuff that we use on a day-to-day basis is imported. So we're going to all be looking at our budgets and adjusting accordingly. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And let me know, what are you buying in advance that are necessities that you might not have been thinking about buying before now? Join the conversation.